Wanted to have this conversation because we got four married guys up here that are pretty seasoned and certainly have a biblical worldview, because I think Travis Hunter needs some advice that I'm not qualified to give. I have some instincts, I have some thoughts, but I think these guys can help him out. And I kind of hope that this video or this segment gets to Travis Hunter, because I do think he needs some help. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off a successful relationship living it out over social media, and particularly with all the money and attention and fame that's coming his way. I'm sure Dion's trying to help him out as well, but it looks like a struggle to me from the outside looking in right now. I want to play Travis Hunter, not any of the controversy that is going on online, but I want to play Travis Hunter defending his girlfriend from all the criticism she took this weekend. And this is what, when I saw him do this was like red flags went up, and I was like, hey, let me get some experienced guys in here that can perhaps give Travis some advice, and particularly Anthony, that works at a church and has to give marital advice to young couples all the time. Anyway, here's Travis Hunter defending his girlfriend from attack.
You ain't never had no girl, so why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. You talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life. Stop worrying about what I got going on. I know what I got. I know my girl. My girl been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just not starting to talk about me and just not starting to be with me. Like, come on, man. Y'all go do something else with y'all life. Clickbait pages, y'all better stop. I'm telling y'all. Y'all, if something bad gonna happen to y'all, y'all keep doing that. Y'all better stop that. I ain't playing. Y'all better stop. All the clickbaiting pages. You know, when we was sitting down and I was at my puppet shop, we was talking about my family. What was they gonna do while I was in there signing stuff? I had all my family there. And that's why she did. That's why she said she's gonna stay there so they can get stuff. That's why she said she's gonna sit there so they can get stuff, have fun there. She wanted to go back. They wanted to go back. Some of them want to go back to the hotel. Some of them didn't. Y'all trying to make everything. Y'all want everything for clicks. Like, stop that. That's crazy. Like, y'all hate on me and then y'all go and hate on my girl. Like, bro, I feel the same pain that she feel. We're inseparable, bro. We with each other. Like, she hurting, of course I'm gonna be hurting. If I'm hurting, of course she gonna be hurting. Like, y'all, come on, man. That joint hurt, bro. But then again, I'm talking to people that in life. Go ahead, bro. I don't care. I would rather all y'all leave right now and go send a text message. So when she wake up in the morning, she get on her phone, nothing but positivity, nothing but, you know, positive energy. Yeah, she's still sleeping. She slumped. You know when you hurt, bro, you just cry yourself to sleep and you just be gone. Like, she drunk like OD amount tonight for no reason.
Anthony, this is your area of expertise.
Oh my.
I actually think it's good that he has a girlfriend, that their fiancé, they're planning to get married. Mm-hmm. I think going off into his professional life, if that were settled, his personal life, I think it would be a good thing. But there's no way you can have social media in the middle of that relationship where you guys are going back and forth. This is your area of expertise.
Man, it's an area I would say I work a lot at, but yes. I don't know. You know, one of the things that you alluded to that your instincts are good at, the marriage is simple in nature. It's you, your spouse, and God. Like, that's the core. And then after you guys, you know, if you have kids, you know, that spreads it. But that's the root and that's the core of this thing. And it must be founded on a faith in God for it to really be what God designs for it to be. When we bring into the marriage all of the other eyes that are looking and all of the other voices that are contributing, you get further and further away from that and you start to pull at one another. A part of what he's trying to defend here is not her, but how she looks and reputation. And a part of that bleeds into what he believes he has to defend about how this looks versus going back to, hey, this is us and what would God have us to look like. One of the things that, the first thing that came up when I saw this was, I'm an old school sports fan. I remember when you look back at like the 80s, the 90s, even early 90s, Michael Jordan, we joked about him reading the paper. That was the interaction that he had with social media. He had a full company that took care of his media, took care of his PR and all that. And he honed in on his sport. We didn't know too much about personal life. Whatever glimpse we got was what he desired to show and what he even desired to respond to. We never got into that. But now these younger athletes coming up, everybody is in. We have to see everything. We have to hear everything. We have to share everything. They're trying to be their own reality show producer, and that is not conducive for a good marriage. So if you're trying to be married, if this is somebody that he desires to marry, I know they're my girl and my boy kind of thing, but if that's something that you're trying to do, you have to actually start, even in the dating season, preparing for that. When me and my wife were dating, I know, okay, I'm a minister, I'm visible, I'm seen, and I have to understand, and she has to understand, how do you feel about this? Do you understand the plan that God has for me and the plan he has for you? If we're not on that page, it's going to be very difficult going into a marriage.
Virgil, you have a young son who's just got engaged and planning to get married, I believe.
Yeah.
What do you see here? What advice would you give Travis?
No, I'd commend him as a young man. And the reason for that is the average age of a young man today to even be engaged is 31. Travis Hunter is 21 years old. He's found this young lady that he, desires to be married to, and, they're engaged. So I would start by commending him. I would also commend him for the fact that he stood up for her, that he was cavalier enough to say, I'm going to defend my woman. And when he saw people online personally attacking his girl, he responded in a way that you would hope that he would. On the flip side of that, I also go to the point of saying, because of his age, because of how young he is, and the desire to live out a life in the media space, in social media in particular, he had better develop a very thick skin very quickly if he's going to allow a handful of people on a stream to upset him to the point where, on arguably one of the best nights of his life, winning the Heisman Trophy, he's going to go back and bemoan the fact that someone had something to say about it, related to his girl. The fact that he was there should be enough for that to quell anyone else who would have anything negative to say. So, there's a lot of growing up that needs to be done on his part. He better do it quickly. At the same time, I think we've got to offer both of them some grace in this way. I know everybody is saying, hey, he needs to get a prenup, he needs to run, all of that stuff. I don't agree with that, but also I think that we need to pump the brakes a little bit. I think about Brittany Mahomes and again, some of the outlandish things early in his career that she was doing. And it's a matter of coaching. Hey, you're in the limelight. Here's how you act. Here's how you shouldn't act. Coaching her up and making sure that she's, walking in a way that honors both of them. And finally, I would say he needs to really increase his relationship with the Lord, get around some good, strong men who will help him out in that endeavor.
The number one benefit for me for the NIL. This guy feels like he can afford to get married today. I mean, I think there are going to be guys who don't sniff the NFL, don't have a chance, but they made $100,000, and so now they can go get married. That's a big deal. It's perhaps the only benefit that I see for the NIL, because I hate the NIL the way it's all worked out. So I do see that. I love his instincts to protect his fiancée. That you can't teach instincts. He's got it. He looks like a fool doing it, in my view, but I love the instinct that someday he'll look back at these tapes and say, I had it right, I wish I'd have said it differently, or, this is where I would really end up, I wish I wouldn't have said it all, I just said it to her. That's reality. There's a guy who's supposed to be his mentor, who claims to be mentoring young man, who's his head coach, Deion Sanders, who could have prepared him for this exact moment, and he didn't. And look, his dad wasn't going to do it. I don't know much about his dad. I know his dad couldn't make it there because he just got out of prison. I think it was only a 90-day sentence, but whatever. His dad wasn't there helping him. His mom, in her interview, looked pretty immature. Don't want to judge her on that. She's not used to cameras and such. Neither of them were going to prepare you for the social media blitz and the criticism. Deion could have and should have. He said, man, no matter what happens, no matter how good you are, I was the greatest, most gifted corner that's ever existed in the history of the world, and you should see my DMs. That's what Deion should have said. Ignore all the noise. Don't respond to any of it. Your wife is going to get hit. Your kids are going to get hit. Your parents, everybody around you, and your job is to go back to them and say, I got your back no matter what. Don't worry about anybody else. That's what Deion should have done.
This isn't going the way that I anticipated because I'm going to have to defend Deion. I'd bet every dollar that I have that Deion has given him that advice. And because of NIL and because the kids got $1 million in the bank or $500,000 or whatever, maybe 2 or 3 million, he feels like I got this figured out. And so it doesn't really matter what Deion says, and it's more about what Deion has shown him. And this is where I will be critical of Deion. And this is where everything's on camera at Colorado. There is no, John Thompson, the head basketball coach at Georgetown, had a very popular saying, hey, I got a public life, a private life, and a personal life. And no one's taught that anymore. Everyone just has a public life. And I'm gonna go all the way back because Anthony is the expert, even though he won't cop to it. He nailed it right off the beginning. Someone needs to be telling Travis, and we're telling you, Travis, and I'm just reiterating what Anthony said at the beginning. Your marriage, Travis, you, the girl, and God. Everybody else needs to get out. All the way out. And letting social media in. Holy cow. Yeah. You've just let the most ignorant group of commentary, you know what you just said is, Satan, come on in here. It's me, you, my wife, and Satan. When the proper construct, you, your fiance, and God. Everybody, and so, but because he's been through this Colorado, everything on video, well-off media, he and his girl, she wants to be a brand influencer as well. She wants to build up her and it's just like, no one, and again, this is where where the Bible says the camel getting through a needle has a better chance than a rich man, and it's true, but it's also symbolic. Like if your goal every day is to make more money, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. And you're not gonna sit back there and say, well, man, look, I don't need to be a social media influencer. You know how much money I'm fitting to make in the NFL? You know how much money I've made at Colorado? I got enough for me, my girl, and God. And if I produce some kids, I got enough for them. And you know what? I can bring mama and daddy along too. I got enough for them. Yeah. I don't need to be this incredible brand. The money the NFL is paying $20, $30 million a year. I'll do a few little endorsements. I don't need to be in the Truman Show, and I definitely don't need my girl in the Truman Show, because baby, we finna make some babies, and trust me, your hands are gonna be full with that. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.